Welcome to Kung Fu Habit number 2. This is part 2 of my class assignment for the new year. And in this assignment, I had to read political participation and the weight that it carries. So through the first part, when I stopped to make the video, I was talking about women and having concealed licensed weapons and how it was a double-edged sword on campuses. As I got further on, there was a young lady who was sexually assaulted by a male acquaintance, and she carried a mattress around her campus in the University of Columbia. I cannot pronounce the young Asian lady's name, but I got mad respect for her because a mattress is not a light thing to carry around. And this girl was like maybe 5'5". So she might have been 2 inches bigger than me. And, I'm a small guy. Carrying a mattress sucks. And truth be told, a box spring is actually lighter than a mattress. So she would have been carrying a box spring around. It might have been a little bit more easier on her back. So as I'm reading along this thing, and this thing goes deep into detail about sexual assault, and I mean this thing goes deep into detail about these young women who have been sexually assaulted and basically had the colleges give them the finger. And I mean that in the utmost way, that they literally gave them that finger right there, like double whammy. And I'm reading this stuff, and I'm like, how does this happen? This happens because we don't pay attention, or we're quick to judge someone by their sexual past, or we're quick to be gender biased. And if a man has a good reputation, it's highly unlikely that he went around and raped somebody, right? Yeah. Tell that to the Sarosville serial rapist that I got accused of doing, because he's like 6'9" and I'm 5'3", yet he's been raping women for 20-something years, and at the time I got pulled over, I was 27. So it was highly unlikely that I've been raping people since I was born. That's not something that is suggestively possible, but you can tell that to the freaking 6 U.S. Marshals that pulled me over one day when I was walking to go get my first movie rejection letter from Sundance to my partner and making films and stuff, who is no longer in Charlottesville. Shout out to Bruce Johnson. But anyway, so these things, man, we've had a lot of racial and sexual assaults up at the university, not by gunpoint, but in the other video I touched upon how having concealed weapons was a double-edged sword, because if you can have them, then you got to fight men who are going to fight for their rights to have them, and some of those men very well may be rapists with concealed weapons, which is what, God bless it, which is what makes this thing a double-edged sword, because, there are a lot of absurd jealousies that go around in the world, alright? And it's on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to gender, alright? Women fight for equality, and men fight to be relevant, alright? Sorry, that's like a complete distraction, but I'm not going to stop this video and redo everything. Women fight for equality, men fight for relevance, and the problem with that is that you're both very relevant, and if we all take our heads out of our asses, we might actually be able to understand the thin line in between. So that way there is equality for women, and there's relevance for men. The problem with this whole chapter has been about sexual assault, alright? And most of the sexual assault was based on females either having consensual sex with the rapist on more than one occasion, and then when she says no, he just blocks that out of his mind and he has sex with her anyway. So first and foremost, let me go into a really simple concept. The word no means just that. No under no circumstances mean yes. If she goes no, it's no. If she goes no, it's still no. Alright? Because you verbally heard her say no, but she's shaking her head yes. Don't get confused by that. No. No. Not K-N-O-W, but N-O. Now, if you're like me, I'm going to be straightforward with it. If you're saying no and shaking your head, I would be like, okay, which one do you mean? Because you're saying no, but your head's saying yes. So, what's the deal? You know, don't say yes and no. You see what I did there? Because honestly, this is yes and this is no. I have no idea who came up with that concept, but it's been that way since I've been born. Whenever you didn't know something, it was shoulder shrug. Whenever you did not want to do anything, it was if you wanted to do something, it was so. That's like universal now. But at the same time, some people do this exact shit that I just did, so I'm gonna do it again. No. Yes. Got that? Now watch this. Yes. No. See how confusing that could be? Here's no again. Here's yes. Now, when they do that, they just put no on a yes movement and they put yes on a no movement. Don't confuse people. Say what you mean and mean it and stick by it. Now, moving back to the subject at hand. When you are in a relationship, whether you are married or dating, you have one simple thing that you must understand. If your girlfriend, wife, or if you're in the alternative lifestyle and part of the alphabet squad, your significant other says yes, but really mean no, then they're saying no. If they say yes, but they're really saying no, then they're saying no. Like this. No. Yes. Confusing? Yes, it is. Which is why you use your mouth to communicate. And if you are in a relationship and your girlfriend is saying yes, but her body's saying no, then just go with no. Because it's simple and you can keep your ass out of trouble. If she's saying no and she's head's going yes, go with no. Because she's getting your ass confused and you're going to wind up locked the fuck up. So don't do that. Now here's the simple thing. Communication is everything. And as I said before I went through that head shaking BS, when you're in a relationship and your significant other does not want to have sex, you do not have the right or the power to make them have sex with you. It's really quite simple. And if you are a young lady or a young man on the receiving end of a sexual assault, you don't have to take that shit. And make sure it is abundantly clear. And the reason why I added young men to that is because nowadays young men are getting raped by women too. You know, a lot of people don't think that it can happen. And I'll be the first to tell you that, you don't know what kind of situation you're going to be in when you leave your house tomorrow. You really don't. You can be the toughest man on earth, and maybe this girl wants to pay back somebody who didn't do anything to her because she can't get someone who did. So maybe this young lady decides, I'm going to invite James out. James doesn't do drugs. He's a good guy. He's never hurt anybody. I'm going to slip this bastard some GHB, and I'm going to rape the fuck out of his ass. Not only am I going to rape him with my organ, I'm going to rape him with other things. Dildos and all the other stuff. And don't think for a New York minute that it can't happen to you. Because I will tell you, the first time you think something can't happen to you will be the first time and maybe the last time that it does happen to you. Because you could die or other unseen fortunate incidences could happen. So, they take James out. You being James. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't really drink. I almost was an alcoholic. But that's another story that's not relevant. So, I'm trusting this lady. I've known her for a while. She knows how I feel about sex and relationships and shit like that. And, we're talking. And she slips me a GHB. I go take a pee. Because a man would never expect a woman to drug him. Alright? And not rape him. Of all things, the last thing a man would ever expect is for a woman to do what a man would do to another girl. Now, this woman has been a victim of that. And you're about to be her victim. Now, this is all hypothetical. This never really happened. I'm not that blessed, and I don't go out like that. But anyway, so I trust her. I drink my cup soda. I go on in there, and we're talking, and she's like, you don't look like you're well enough to drive. Why don't you just crash at my place? I trust her. Okay. I'm going to sleep on her couch. because I'm not going to sleep on her bed. We're not together, so there's no need for me to be there. We're just friends. Friends don't rape friends, right? That's how it's supposed to be anyway. So I'm drunk out of my mind. I only had one drink. That's all it takes. Somehow or another, she got a hold of a GHB, crumbled it up, put it in my drink. My dumb ass didn't think the smell of the drink or anything because GHB has no odor anyway, especially the liquid form. And you can't see a lot of crushed up powder if it's refouled enough and stirred very well. And soda has acid, so it's always foamy. So I drank it. She slipped me a Mickey. Now we're back at her house. I'm out. Now I go use the bathroom. I lay on the couch. Psh, I'm gone. I can't do shit. I'm a zombie. I'm done. All of a sudden, she's back in the room with me. I seen her go to her room before I went to bed. We gave each other our little night hug because we're friends. You know, friends do hug friends. Whether they're boys or girls, they do hug friends. There's different types of hugs and caresses between friends. You know, so I lay down on the couch. Gone. I can't move. I'm completely powerless. She comes in. She takes advantage of me. She rolls me over. Rams her dildo right on up my ass. Alright, what just happened? I never done anything to her. Why would she do this to me? I can't defend myself because I'm out on drugs. I'm not a big guy, so it won't be that hard for her to flip my ass over and do whatever the hell she wants. Like I said, I'm not a big guy, you know, and some women are stronger than they look. So don't underestimate anyone for the record, you know, because anyone can do anything at any time. If you think that a woman can't do anything because you believe she's frail and fragile, you'll find yourself in that situation. Now, on the other hand, I don't trust anybody when it comes to my drink. Alright? If I gotta go to the bathroom, you best believe two things can happen. I'm gonna down that damn drink before I go, or I'm gonna take it with me. You know? I'm not really fond of taking the drink in the bathroom because things happen, and I don't want somebody to accidentally piss on my drink because I'm a short guy and I'm using a small urinal. You know, shit might bounce off or something. But for the record, you know, these things do happen. And unconscious people cannot defend themselves or consent to sexual assault. So this has happened to plenty of women and very few men. Most men don't report this crap because of shame and stuff, and most women do report this crap, and then they are shamed and admonished because of gender bias, which is basically what that breaks down to in this book. And the thing about that is you know, let's see, it's not in the book, but you can probably Google this. 50% of people have been sexually assaulted, and out of that 50%, 25 or 15 has gone reported. So that's a big bulk of unreported rapes. And then the ones that are raped and that are reported walk around carrying a mattress because the gender biased assholes don't want to believe them, or because they had a previous relationship with the person who they are now accusing of rape. And that's basically what that book boiled down to. And then it goes on and on about other things. So when I made the first video, I hadn't finished reading the chapter of the book, which was about women carrying concealed weapons. Alright, so CCW. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading this thing, and this is why I said it's a double-edged sword, because equality versus relevance. And men fight for relevance, women fight for equality, which means they're also fighting for relevance. And if a woman has a weapon, I also stated in the other video, you can't always get to your weapon. You can't. So some self-defense techniques would also be appropriate to learn if you are a young woman going to school. I will make a third video to this, all about self-defense. Thanks for watching. I'm James Williams. Come Havoc number 2, BC.